Hi guys, this is DrayYoutube584. Do you guys remember my rant on April 19th, 2020 that I did last year? I ran on that because that was a horrible day. It was the second worst day of my life, only behind the day from 2018. The reason I didn't rant on that day instead was because I didn't think about it because it's further in the past. But now we will talk about the best day I've ever had, March 1st, 2019. Have you ever watched my video of me being on my first airplane flight? That was the day before this day, on February 28th. One positive to this day is how I was still pleased that I did my first airplane flight the day before and had no problems with it. And like most people, I've had some fantastic days in my life, but the other ones, besides this one, had points where they were kind of boring. However, this day is the exception. Every single minute of this day rocked. It was such a great day that it makes my other top 4 best days ever look ordinary in comparison. And I still strongly love those days. Let's get started about why this day rocked. I woke up at the motel from last night in Florida. After being up for about an hour, my family started driving over to Universal Orlando. It was so exciting on the way because I've never been there before. My parents told me how awesome it is. When we got there, I believe we went to the Simpsons area first. Then we rode the ride. We just did that one. Along with every other ride I rode was incredible. And then we spent from about 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. at Universal. Best part would probably be when we were in the Harry Potter section. The visuals are absolutely flawless and it looked 110% like the real movie. Before we left, we sat in a cool restaurant called Cowfish. If you want to know about it, look it up. And we had a pass in Universal that allowed us to skip through long lines until we were only 15 minutes behind the front. And at one point, this lady for being extra nice, this lady let me and my parents and my Aunt Dottie, who's all I was with, she let us ride down the elevator, get on the ride early. She told people it was my birthday, even though my birthday is not March 1st, it's October 10th. Just think about how amazing that is. I wasn't even upset when we were leaving, mostly because I knew we weren't leaving Florida until the 4th, so I still had 2 more days there. Also, if you're looking at a calendar, you can see that this day was on a Friday. And I still didn't have to go to school, which is another thing that rocked about this day. And in the section we managed to ride every single ride that was there, except for the Minions one, because someone threw up on the ride. But I didn't mind, because I already went on 8 of them. And they were all very amazing. And also, this day was literally flawless. Like if you looked at like the weather on that day, it was gorgeous. There was like, as I remember, the sky was completely blue, and I don't think it was too hot or too cold out. And even like, okay, during the last 2 hours of this day, 10 and 11, I spent it mostly in the hotel. But no, even that part of the day rocked. Because just thinking about how awesome my day was. And also because I just remember watching The Simpsons with my parents in bed. And it's nice to watch TV together. And it was different because we're watching in a hotel room. Okay, to anyone who doesn't like this day, I respect your opinion. If you had a bad day on this day, I'm sorry to hear that. But in my case, it was fantastic from start to finish. And it was my first time going anywhere with like virtual rides. I've never been to any place like that before. And another thing that made this day rock was the fact that I knew the next day was also going to rock. Because the day after this, I went to the Space Center with my Aunt Dottie and her boyfriend. I wonder if I will ever have a day that's better than this. It's possible, but it's gonna be hard. Bye, guys. I hope you have a great day. Although your day probably isn't going to be good as my March 1st, 2019, it's still going. I still hope yours is good enough. Bye, guys.